In this video, we're going to talk about topic 8.5 again, and we're talking about the the area between two curves when we're in the horizontal direction. So this time they were nice enough to give us the graph. They're telling us that the area, we're looking at this x equals y squared minus 2, which does happen to be the green graph there. And then the other graph that we have is actually the red one. It's x equals e to the y. And we know that because this one, the green one is definitely a parabola, so the red one has to be the other one, and it definitely looks like an exponential function. Then we're also bounded. They were kind of nice, actually. They told us that we had the bounds y equals -1, and then they told us that our other bound was y equals 1. So the nice part about that is that we didn't have to calculate any points of intersection. We can just go straight to integrating. So I am going to integrate from -1 to 1. And remember, we're going to do our right function minus our left function. So the function that is on the right is the e to the y. And remember, we always, always, always subtract, put a parentheses. And then my green function is the y squared minus 2. And then we're going to put a dy after everything here. All right, so let's go ahead and see, actually, I'm going to distribute that negative first. So we've got -1 to 1 of e to the y minus y squared plus 2 dy. All right, so we're going to integrate. When I integrate e to the y, I know I get e to the y. When I integrate y squared, we get y cubed over 3. When we integrate 2, we get 2y. And we're going from -1 to 1. Let's go ahead and plug in our 1. We plug in our 1, we would get e to the first, or just e. 1 cubed is just 1, so -1/3. And then 2 times 1 would, -2 times would be -2, and then put minus and a big parentheses. I would get e to the -1 power minus -1 cubed would be -1/3. And then -2 times -1 would be +2. And let's see, let's clean this up a little bit. Let's see what we can do to clean it up. I'm going to distribute this negative in. So actually, before I do that, this double negative is going to go positive. And then when I distribute the negative in, it's going to swap all my signs. So that's going to be negative, negative, and negative. All right, then I can't combine those e's together because one of them, the first one is e, but the second one is going to bring the e downstairs. So it's 1 over e. So we're just going to leave it like that. And then let's look at our fractions here. We've got -1/3, and -1/3 would be -2/3. And then we've got -2, and -2 would be -4. Actually should be a positive. Okay, so I found a typo in my original equation when I was writing things down here. So let's go back and fix it. So we had it as a +2, and notice I made it a -2 there, so I'm going to make it a +2 again. So this should have been +2. This should have been +2. So when I bring this, no, that should have been a minus because it was a -1. So that makes sense that it would have been a -2. Okay, so then when I bring this over, it turns it into a +2. So that means when I have 2 plus 2 is going to be +4. Now that I have that, I'm going to turn that 4 into thirds. So we've got -2/3. That would make it 12/3. So I get e minus 1 over e plus 10/3.